Whoops. Tonk, tonk, tonk. Yeah, nice start. Well, it sounded like a good start at the beginning, right? I started good, and then the tonks showed up, so. Oh, wow. Yeah, Dreamers is super cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live stream at its scheduled time. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome. Hey, I'm John Limcool. We do this each week. I did a live stream yesterday just because I felt like it, and it was really beneficial. Having just other people you're conversing with and hanging out with just puts a little extra, water in the teacup, right? So welcome. We do this each week. I don't know why. I do know why. Because I like to hang out with you guys. It's free support for all the libraries I make, for all the plugins I make. I like hanging out and just, checking in with you guys each week. And sometimes there's new things to show. There's if I dug really hard, there's some plugins I could show you that were free that showed up, but not many showed up. Hey, Jurgen, 24 hours, man. Yeah. So I sent a newsletter last night, as I always do, and I was just curious about what people thought. I priced this one a little bit higher than other libraries I've done. Part of it, I had to actually buy a whole, instead of just sampling some software synth, I sat in a room for hours recording very long samples of these bells, these bowls, the pads. Those were fairly easy to make for, that's just the usual. Although for those, I even spent even more time crafting on the pads and how I promote, all that kind of stuff. So I put a lot of time into this one, and so I felt it was worth asking $10 more a month than I normally do. $10 for the library. Normally it's like $52. I priced this as $62, $20 off, and it hasn't sold as well as I was hoping it would. But I still feel it's worth the price I'm asking, especially when I compare it to other libraries. I asked for feedback, and thank you to all of you that have written feedback. It's very helpful. I need to actually probably do surveys. I don't even know how many of you guys use Macs versus PCs. It's just I'm not a numbers person. I've never been all into that side of analyzing businesses. I just don't. I make enough to pay my bills, to pay Taylor, to pay my taxes, to not go to jail, to make it to the next month, right? Anyway, if you notice, this is now at 120 patches. I've added 20 additional patches. You can go bonus, and you will see the 20 patches show up Only 19 are showing up. Huh. Supposed to be 20, but let me see something here. If I go over here, did I forget to tag one? I might have forgotten. Excuse me. If I go over here and I go kind. Yep, there's 20. So one is missing its tag. I'm not going to try to solve it right now. One of them is missing a bonus tag, but 19 of the 20 are tagged. More cowbell. Thank you guys. Thank Jeff. Thanks, Avar. Very nice of you. Now, I was curious about something. Is there a way to like pin message? I want to figure out, all these guys doing live streams now can pop up the comment into the screen. I don't know how to do that yet. It's all good. I'm not feeling bad about people buying or not buying the libraries, you know? I mean, right. Yeah, it is definitely a special library. I haven't heard many crystal bowl libraries. There's someone released a library where they recorded a little prism, little pyramid shaped chime. More money than what I'm asking for this library here. This has environmental sounds. It goes to a lot of cool places. Anyway, let me show you some of these bonus patches. We'll pull them apart real quick. I made slow variations. Yeah, I haven't seen crystal bowls, so I thought it was kind of a... Now, what I did for these is I started with this first one's very basic. It's basically this, and then I slowed down, found the right place, and saved it. Because so many people, it's just simple edits like this is beyond their capabilities. It has to be a patch over here that you can call up. So there it is. It's now slow. And some of the slow ones have reverb. Other ones are going to have added shimmer. Now these are not looped. Right? Now, if you want, you can take some of the awakens. The awakens are all looped. And I didn't do this to them because they're slow already. Sample start is your friend here. Because in some cases, you can get into where these sounds take a long time to develop. And this is me recording and playing the edge of a bowl while recording it very carefully. To not hit the mic, not breathe, not squeak anything. And hopefully it grows, right? These bowls are very temperamental. So the sample start allows you to, here, let's do, I'll visually show you. This is not the wave version of the library. So let me go over here to the backup hard drive where I have everything backed up. All my work files for everything I've ever done, I have a folder here. I won't show you because there's some stuff I'm working on that you don't know about yet, so I can't show you everything. But if we go over here to the names and library purity, wave almost final. Here we go. So if I go here, here's the wave almost file version, and we go to the samples. Go down the list here to the samples, and let's say like the AE bowl. Now there's hits, and then there's loops. These are the drum hits that I did, and then there's the hits, and then up here are different rolls. I called them rubs. And the purple ones are not in the library. There was some that I tried that didn't make it in the library. I actually sang like a monk, and I could never process those to work right. So I'm not showing you those. I tried. I can't sing, so it was a fun effort anyhow. Let's see. Yeah, let's see that message later. As you can see, these are sounds that start and they take a long time to grow up into here. And then right in here, I looped it. If I take this and I drag this into Endless Wave, this will load up with the loop points that I set up. So after all this growth, I would loop it. So keeps the energy. It takes a long time to find the cycle so that the loops don't sound like a loop. And so I did this to like 30, 40 different samples. So it took an awful lot of man hours of editing these samples. Me, myself, and I did all of that. And they're really magical. I think these came out really cool for such a unique thing. Now, on the Awakens, if you don't want it to be that long thing, use a sample start. And you can get in later and then bring up the attack if you need to make it a slow attack. Those are the only two knobs you have to use in Unify in these cases to really personalize them, you know? Oh, good. Hi, Stuart. Welcome. I love seeing new names. It's awesome. Welcome. So I thought these were really cool. I've never heard these types of sounds before sampled and looped and presented this way. So, and then if you want to make it magical, there's reverb. And this, by the way, is our free Dragonfly. This company asked us to help them do certifications to their plugins. They were free plugins, and we're like, hey, would you mind if we include these in Unify? And can we host them on our website and update the interface? And we did some things because they were older plugins that weren't ready for newer computers. And they were super cool and said, yeah, go for it. So we updated the interface. We color-coded the knobs. Let's see. I think, isn't there... Maybe it was on just... oh, here it is, a question mark. If you hit the question mark, it will pop up and it will show you the color coordination that we did to it. These are free plugins. And let me point out, since I'm supposed to promote my website, and I always forget to, this video is sponsored by my website, pluginguru.com. Here it is. And I have a sale. I'm going to get some banners up today announcing the sale publicly. It's just been an internet newsletter-based sale, and you guys are like buying libraries on sale like crazy. It's really cool. Thank you. If you go to products, you'll see that everything is been, the prices are nice and low because the sale is in place, and so everything is 45% off. If you go to a library, it'll tell you what the original price was, and it's 45% off. So everything at the website, other than Purity, is at 45% off. Purity is minus, I should actually, and the GX80 library is also not at the 45% off price because it's a new library for the GX80 that Fred Nongat did. Now, if you go over here to current deals, those of you that are new, we'll spin it to, it's great. I see tons of people doing this. I've been mentioning it a bit more. We have all sorts of free libraries that you got to get. So make sure you get these free libraries. A whole bunch of people asked us to include a purchase option if you wanted to. And look, they're even on discount too. Because my website, I won't even talk about it. But make sure you get Guru Collective Volume 1. We're going to do another one next year. But Guru Collective Volume 1 is like 400 patches. All sorts of you guys in the chat sent us samples. Hi there, Simeon's here, Da Vinci's here. It's so good to see all of you. Welcome, all of you. It's good to see you. But also, all the other libraries that are not at 45% are here because they're at 50%. These are December babies. They were all born in the month of December. So Mega Magic Keys, I recorded that at my mom and dad's house. It's pretty exhaustive and it's amazing. It's a U1 upright recorded and a C3 grand recorded in one library. The U1 upright, there's felt piano on it. So it for $49 is just a, let's see, do I have it listed here? I don't. Let me show you that really quick because that's one of my favorite libraries. It's my mom and dad's piano. My mom has taught piano lessons on this piano for so many years, it's not even funny. So let's see, Mega Magic. Let's see, libraries out. Did I put Mega Magic? Keys. Let me put these in. I don't think I've done that one yet. There's a couple libraries I still have to release for Unify. Let me see here. Go over here to libraries like that, and then rebuild the database. Anyway, so all the babies that were born in December, these are all my kids, or they're kids that I helped produce and release some of these. The Airwave libraries, those were made by Laurent Verones. He's not really in the music industry. He still is. He's still writing some music. He's been a trance artist for like 30 years, and he also is teaching in a. He's doing something else in Belgium right now, but his libraries are for Omnisphere. They are truly like the state of the art. There's so much you can learn from the Airwave libraries that is just stunning. So all these libraries are 50% off. So free libraries and the big current deals, the Christmas libraries, these are December babies. Anyway, the Dragonfly reverbs are right here. And there's 4 reverbs, they're free. And there's a really cool couple parameters in them. I still have a cold. I'm sorry my voice is a little raspy. I went to some Christmas parties, and I guess I caught a cold. So it happens. So if I go over here to the hits, let's say hit, and they're round robins, which means there's multiple samples. And this is the A2 bowl, so it's this one right here. If you bring up the reverb, this reverb has a couple really cool things. Make sure you play with modulation and spin. This is the speed of the spin. And the depth. So you can get this really cool lexicon-ish motion. The presets are right here, so you just choose from here what you want, whether you want a large hall. There's some very big like fantasy halls, and I voiced them and saved these presets as if it was on an insert effect. Since this is an auxiliary bus, you'd want to turn down the dry level and just turn up the reverb. There's also wonders, so as you can see, if you hit the little question mark, these are reverb type effects that are added. The other thing that's interesting with this is it also has this early level, which is tied into the decay and size. So you can get rid of the early reflections, or you can send into the reverb, whether it doesn't and it's just a separate effect, or else if it goes into the reverb too. And then you have EQ controls, you have a stereo width. Really nice, free reverbs. And the hall is especially just gorgeous. Love it. So it's really nice that they let us include those in Unify. So if we go back to the other bonus patches, like I was talking about the slows. So there's various slows. I decided to keep these since they're in with the core library up here. They're not down here in the Z patches, which is where I get a little bit more carried away with synth parameters and stuff like that. To keep them just kind of simple. So it's just, it does what it says, right? So up here you have the bowls, you have the drums. These BPM drums are based on the drum menus. These are, I played the bowl, and sadly this E2 bowl, I don't know if you guys have seen the picture in the owner's manual. Let me see, where is it at? I'll show you the sad photo. It was a sad day. I was chatting on a live stream with a friend of mine, and I had a little tiny metal bowl on a bar stool, and I had, where is it at? I put it in here, I think, so I gotta find it real quick. I'm terrible at talking and doing multiple things at once. It's just not my forte. Where did it go? I think I didn't want to include it in the owner's manual because it was very sad, kind of disrespectful to put it into there. But where did I put it? Oh, come on, Skip. I have so many sample photos in this folder. How can I find it? View by date. Go like this. Go down here. Let's see if I can find this photo to show you. Anyway, it fell and broke. And so this bowl. Oh, those are songs and stuff. Hold on a second. I'm sure glad you can't see this other monitor because there's secret stuff. Yeah, I lost it. Anyway, somewhere there's a picture. If I yeah, I can't find the photo. Anyway, it was sad. It broke. This metal bell fell into the bowl. So the bowl that was used to make these sounds, it's no more. But it lives on. Anything that says E2 at the beginning, E2 is in, what is it? Crystal Bowl heaven. Let's see here. Chuck is asking, hi, new users still learning. Any suggestions for a Mark Knopfler guitar sound? Yeah, that the more direct guitar sounds, Renegade is a library that Bob Dead has created. It's cinematic in nature. It's got cinematic hits, incredible drum kits, but he also did some incredible guitars. These guitars are 8 velocity layers and round robins as well. So some of the best, because distorted samples are so hard to pull off, but he sampled every note. The mutes. When you play soft, you get the mutes, or you can just go to the mutes by themselves. And he did multiple guitars. So much work went into this library. I mean, this is getting that attack and stuff. Just incredible. With synths, with vocals. He sampled himself like he was a stadium. So these crowd chants, so it sounds like it's in a stadium. Are incredible. We did all these ZBPM patches, like rocking in the name of, I think I did this one, so it's a Totally different than meditation, huh? Really, really, really cool stuff. On top of that, this library has so much. You get up here to these like hits and subs and to set up a patch by hand, or what are you confusing? Simeon, oh, she's talking to Simeon. Okay. Simeon, you don't have to answer that right now. Anyway, let's get back. So the bonus patches, because there's 120, you can type bonus up here, and 19 of the 20 show up. There's one missing from the list. I'm trying to go down the list. So there's the slow ones. Let's get back to what we were doing. There's a bass. It's going to show you in the demo song in a minute that I did. And it's using one of the solitary bells to just give this nice, really fuzzy round. The metal chalice. And if you want to make more of these types of sounds, it's just as easy as going up to some of the other bells. Like, let's add silver bells to this. Just add instrument one layer, and let's give it the reverb kind of like the top layer and turn it down. And then go save and call it Magical Glass Chalice 2 if you want. That's how easy it is to make patches. Is the core of the library are all these sounds that you can combine and layer and stuff, and they just make really, really cool patches and layers. So anyway, in the other bonuses, there's some really cool BPM stuff. There's a one-note major minor. So you can go back and forth. And these are set up just using Blue Arp. So you could set this to 30-second notes if you want to be even faster. Bring up the reverb even more. Make it more like a smear. Right? So there's all sorts of ways to use. You could also change the notes of Then you have like a 9. So there's so many ways to just change a few parameters in these patches. Then Dreamers is really cool for a kind of one of the more complex. And I'll show you a demo song in a minute where I use some of these patches, especially this one. Super, super magical. I love this one. Future Foresight. Got a little heavy on the MDA loudness on the kick, so you can bring it down a little bit. Legion Fall was one I made yesterday. Then move the mod wheel. Bring down the filter. Nice and dark. So you can start dark. The random LFO brings up the random LFO on the filter. Then the mod wheel opens up the filters. Have a whole huge range of sounds. You can go through the celebration, right? We made this yesterday too. Let's see, and then there's a string variation you can bring up, and it brings up, as you can see, it plays with the volume and the panning to go from a single to panning octave ones, which is kind of fun. Pinnacle Funk. Thank you, Fred. Now, I want to point out, Chuck was asking about guitars. We have other guitar libraries as well, just so you know. Electric Dreams, there's 2 Electric Dreams. There's one that I did, and then a month later, Fred did for the Cherry Audio GX80. I did a Moody Electric Dreams. This is for all this kind of guitars that are processed. Right? So if you're trying to do like Lana Del Rey, Cigarettes After Sex is another band that's really cool with this kind of a vibe. There's all sorts of BPM splits that show off this kind of vibe, and let's see. That kind of stuff. So there's not just the really clear rock distorted guitars. Renegade is the go-to library. Electric Dreams is that. We also have other guitar libraries of acoustic guitars. So there's version 3, which was the new one that came out for Unify. Before that, they were made for Omnisphere, so there's fewer samples. But with Mega Magic Guitars Volume 3, we did these blissful samples. They're just incredibly cool. So if you go over here to like the Bliss guitar, this is acoustic with processing. And then each library, I try to make it as deep as I can. So for Mega Magic Guitars 3, I also recorded a bass. I recorded an acoustic. I haven't heard a lot of samples of an acoustic bass, so I sampled a. And this with Bliss is just incredible. Just super incredibly fun to play. also banged on the drum as a drum, the bass, and so there's a drum kit in this library of hits. And then I made all sorts of BPM grooves, these BPM drum. If you go to the combo, this is kick, snare, and hats when it says full. So you have really cool grooves. Go up here to the bass, right click, say load this into new layer. It's so fun. In this library, at the very end of the list, we actually put our demo songs that Bob and myself, Bob Dead has helped me with some demo songs. We actually made the MIDI files, separate MIDI files, and did everything. So you just play, you have to play middle C. And it'll play the entire demo. And I'm using a piano that comes from Unify standard samples. But the melody of this is played with the bass guitar is Bliss. I love this right here. So everything you're hearing is Unify. It goes into a jam section in the middle. Play the demos if you want. These are really fun. Bob did a Pina Colada, which was really fun. So cool library. Guitars Volume 4 is old strings. So I had 2 guitars, nylon and steel string. I kept their strings on that were really old and recorded them both natural. Then there's a bright variation. And then there's tape, which has like tape effects. So if you're doing all the chill records and stuff like that, these chill vibes are what are really big, both for the steel and the nylon. So you don't need any audio effects. It's all built into the samples. So there's all sorts of stuff to play with in all the I love guitars. And, you know, Unify lets us sample lots of samples. I don't go crazy with gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of samples like a lot of the guitar libraries. There are better libraries that get deeper. But anyway, I was going to show you keys. That's where I started. So this has the grand piano, and I got to keep moving because I'd love to get sidetracked. But it's the end of the year. I want to show all the libraries. They're all on sale, so it's kind of like... And a C3 is a smaller piano, so the low end, it doesn't have the full body, the 9-foot, but it bites. I'm not a master sampleist in the sense of I did 3 takes at night while my mom and dad were sleeping of my mom's grand piano. So that's how I made this library. And I just got lucky that all the samples worked together. So it doesn't have 20 velocity layers like some of the native instruments and Spectrasonics, pianos and so forth have far more velocities. But these came out really nice. And on top of it, I did Mega Magic. So this is taking the piano and putting it into reverb. So you have... for a cool ethereal vibe for dance tracks. The U1 upright I recorded as well. So there's the velocity switch, which is more dynamic. And I had to EQ the heck out of this to get rid of the knocks and stuff of it because it's a big Yamaha upright. But what's really, really cool is this felt piano is just awesome. And then for this library, I recorded all sorts of additional record noises, oceans, all sorts of crazy things. Record noises, all these record noises from my own records. I mean, there's tons of them. And then you go up here to, where do we get the groove stuff? The BPM keys. So these are like, let's see. I did some environmental ones as well. Here we go. Pop, 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 pop. Mod wheel. Here we go. With River. So bring up the mod wheel and you get sound effects. Jason Schopfer. I'm sure he's in the list. Oh, really? Wow, Andy, that's so cool, man, because I don't have weighted keys. So I don't even know that. That's so cool. Now for this piano, I'd want it to be more expressive, and my mouse stopped working on me for some reason. So for this, I would go over, you can always modify on any patch. You can go over here to this. This is the velocity curve input. Boy, I'm hearing things I would change if I was doing this differently for the, let's see, Lo-Fi LP Miami. So I included drum loops on the mod wheel when it says mod wheel jam. So there's pianos with jams. Here's a jam with felt and river. So you have all sorts of jammy things. Mod wheel, the U one with the rainy ocean. So you can do all sorts of environmental settings. But the pianos sound very much like you're in the room with the piano. Very different than a lot of libraries because they're in a studio. This was recorded in a front room of a house. No sound treatment. And then what's fun with this is since it's Unify, I could say, give me a new layer. And I could open up Omnisphere, which would get me to Keyscape. Actually, let's do it this way. I made a library for his Keyscape. I wasn't a biggest fan of how some of the library patches in Keyscape played, so I made my own library for it, which came out really cool. So here, let me go over here real quick. I gotta show you this. We're just playing. It's a play day, so I hope you don't mind we're doing it this way. I'm not really focused and sticking to just one topic per se, so you can ask questions on anything. It's so useful when I go over libraries you already own. Yeah, that's part of, I actually want to start doing, I'm working on getting a camera above me for down view to make shorts. I want to make shorts for all my libraries, just talking about everything in them, because there's a lot packed into these libraries, and I don't like to do things the same way twice. So I'm always thinking of new ways of how to do something I've done already before, right? So let me see here. If we go to colors, where's colors for Keyscape? Here, Omnisphere libraries. Oh, to colors for Keyscape. Let me show you this. So go to Unify, excuse me. Libraries, rebuild the database. Just so nice. And actually, one of these pianos, let me show you in this library, if I can find it. Let's see, Rain. I had Playable Rain, Rain Gentle. It was in this library. I thought I had the pop. No, it wasn't Water Magic. But it was raining one day. I thought I included that with this. Let me find it. The U1. U1 upright album felt noise. I even recorded like unique attacks, like pulling tape. There's all sorts of really cool dark process. So if you want to do these types of libraries and sounds, there's really cool filmic. And then what I want to show is I could take something like this, go over here to colors for Keyscape. You have to own Omnisphere 2 and Keyscape for this to work, but I made a whole bunch of really, really cool keys with all sorts of chill layers and awkward and stuff like that. So we could say load this into new Unify layer. I'll take it a second. If we solo it, this sounds like... Oh, that wasn't quite what I was expecting. There we go. That's more piano like I would vibe. The Omnisphere pianos, the Keyscape pianos are very much in your face. Let's take it up an octave and down in mix so that it mixes better. So here's just Keyscape by itself. Very nice. Listen up here. When I add the Unify library, so they work really, really well together. This library is really fun for Keyscape if you own it, because I made like the softest pianos I could. And then I made like the brightest rock and roll pianos. Like, there's no piano in Keyscape that sounds like this piano without this patch, because I haven't found one where anybody else was going through, and I use high-pass filters on the piano as separate layers on top of the piano to get it to have just rock your head off brightness if you needed it. So if you need that kind of brightness, as well as all the chill stuff and all these really cool. And there's multis too. I think a case, there's Rhodes and splits. These are piano and chill multis. So make sure if you have the colors for Keyscape, you explore everything that it has. It has both programs and then the multis, and the multis were using both basses that I made as well as the pianos. So it came out really, really cool. Really, really fun stuff. So let's see. So do you think Logic is the best DAW to use with Unify? I had the original Wave Station and Karma. Unify reminds me so much. Yeah, well, I worked on the Wave Station and Karma. So yeah, it has a lot of my the stuff I like. I like the look of like a workstation. So when you're looking inside of Unify and you're looking at something where it you just kind of see everything that's going on. You know, the workstation thing is a personal taste, and I've used Logic since it was on the Atari computer and called Creator and Notator. And Gerhard Langling is a friend of mine still on Facebook, and he still is working at Yamaha on the updates for for Logic and so forth. And so I'm just kind of partial to it. I'm so familiar with it. The best DAW is the DAW that you don't think about when you're working in it. You just work. And yesterday's live stream for 2 hours and 19 minutes, I did some songwriting, and I work in a way where I use a lot of the tools like the capture recording in Logic, where I'm not recording and then I play something and I like it and I capture it after the fact. I'm just used to how it works. There is no such thing as a best DAW. It's like, what's the best hammer? What's the best electric drill? You know, it's whichever one helps you get your work, whatever you hear in your head that you want to get out. Maybe this is a good way to segue into the demo song, because it's using some of these new bonus patches. And here, let's quit Unify in standalone mode. I'm going to just turn it down. And actually, I'm going to quit it because I don't want it to get confused with this. But I have the demo song that I just released last night, and I worked so hard on the mix for this, and it came out really nice. Really happy with this. I'll be quiet and play this. This is a demo called The Look. It also could easily have been called, where's the name? I love the name of this one patch. Flowers Opening in the Rain. If I wanted to be more like a Japanese artist's library or something, like there's a song name. Anyway, let me mute this, play the demo, and then we'll pull this apart, okay? So here we go. It starts with the bowl by itself in here. I'm going to open this up so you can see something. Let me hit the automation lanes. There's a lot of automation. I'm going to show you the automation. This is with the effects. I'll show you dry if you just want to hear what. But this is using sample libraries beyond Unify. I'm using a string and brass library inside of Contact and some other stuff. So anyway, I'll be quiet. I'll play the demo. One second. It's not supposed to be doing that. Let's see here. That's on here. You're not supposed to be playing. You're supposed to be on stop mode. I don't know why it's powered back up. Anyway. That's a demo I did yesterday, and it started in the live stream. It started with me making this patch. And if you watch the live stream, I actually play this part for, let's see if we solo this, go like this, solo. And I wasn't recording at the time, and then I captured it. And actually, it started with this. I made a little motif. And then repeated it. And then that goes through the entire song that I'm like going around. Let's see if we go like that and like this. These two sounds just work so well together. They have the rubbing bowls with the bowl being hit. Just gives me goose pimples still just thinking of it, you know? Now the other sounds that are in the library, we'll do a naked, so you can hear what the naked mix is. It's these guys. I made a bass. That bass that's in the bonus library comes up right here. There's another bell, the silver bells, comes in right here. And it's doing like a... I'm just having it do like a weird pattern, and then I have some effects I'll show you in a second, but here comes the Costly Love. Maybe that's... Right there, you hear the bells only through the granular effect I'm using on fragments. If I bring this up, and you just hear the fragments. It's doing this octave like organ kind of thing. Bring it down a little bit. Here, have it bring it up. Just get this really, really cool, add just another dimension to the bells. Let me see something though. Costly Love, is that in the, yeah, ZBPM. Did I save this? Oh, that's the one that doesn't have bonus. Okay, so that's the patch. Ooh, Costly Love is the 20th bonus patch. And I love this patch. It's really cool for... Play in E, it's best, but I didn't play in E. I played in A flat. But because it doesn't really matter, but you can change the pitch of the... Now I want to be in E flat. So you can change the pitch if you want. And I was actually thinking of going through and automating the pitch of the chord changes, and I didn't. But Costly Love is a 20th bonus. If you go bonus in the library, it shows you 19. The one that's not missing, the one that's not showing is one of the cool ones, and that's Costly Love, which is this really cool drum. And the bonus library is, here, let me do it this way. I'll give you a link in the chat. Come over here, please. This is just the 20 bonus patches. You need to have the library installed. If you download the full version of Purity, it has the 20 patches already in it. Oh, thank you, Floating. I would think you would love this. With your name, this is right up your alley, my friend. Anyway, if you also log into your website, into the pluginguru.com website, under libraries you own for Purity, there's a link for just the bonus patches to download there too. They're on the website as well as a free Dropbox link. Yeah, Dom is asking about the piano libraries and Keyscape and Omnisphere. I specifically programmed the patches in colors for that. So for the, where is it? Colors for Keyscape. You know, I haven't updated this database. Let me have it update the database. Colors for Keyscape is a library just for Omnisphere. The patches won't even load into Keyscape. You have to have Omnisphere and Keyscape connected to Omnisphere, and then the patches are made as Omnisphere patches. So just to be clear, it's not, you could swap in Nord, but now you're losing all the benefit of all the programming of all these patches, because these patches were made, the basses and all that kind of stuff, they're all made just for Omnisphere and Keyscape. So if you don't own those, then don't get the colors for Keyscape library. I'll have to send you a refund. Let's see, let's go back to Purity. So that's where it is. I solved my mystery. Yay, I'll sleep at night. The BPM pad, where is it at? Costly Love, right here. It's the other heart of this library. Now, the other things I added to this library, for those of you that are curious, we've unified the patches to one of my favorite drum plugins, Microtonic. Microtonic is just an incredibly creative, cool, unique plugin like none other out there. Let me show you without destroying the song. If I come down here to this, if you go to Microtonic real quick, that's Sonic Charge. So many companies, man. Microtonic Stereo. This is this little tiny plugin that, let's see if we hit play. Let's see, let's cycle somewhere up here where there's no music. And oh, it's playing the patch. This is the patch that I set up. It's not the original, the Urgiller Churchen. If you want, let's do this. Let's go copy the settings. And if I go over and I say open presets and I go to the desktop of the computer, there it is. I downloaded this. This is what it started as. But I like the vibe of it. I thought, well, I can shape with these color sounds, and so I worked with it. Like if I get this decay long, way down there, you know. Anyway, it's synthesis based. There's no samples in this. And the thing that's unique with Microtonic is that if you go to Sonic Charge's website, sonicharge.com, they have some free personal holiday gifts for Synplant and Microtonic owners that they've given away that are really nice. They have the Paternarium. This is this internet website that runs Microtonic. There it is. There's the patch that I used last. Each time you hit plus, it's a different patch. That's not part of the factory library. It's new patches. Let's say I like this. I could use copy, or I can use download the preset, download this to the desktop. So here it is as a preset, right? From a website that they built. Now I could go over here to Sonic Charge's Microtonic, open preset, drag this over, open. It programs all the sounds and the patterns. So now I could solo each of these guys or mute everybody else. I can modify the sounds now. Here's the pan, volume. There's a mix between noise the type of noise, the type of attack. So you can modify the presets. It's really, really fun, and I just love the sound of it, the character of it. In the mix, it sounded really nice. And so we've unified those patches. So if you call this up inside of Unify, what's fun in Unify is, of course, you can layer things, right? So if we go over here to the Microtonic Unified Library, which is a free, for those of you who don't know that are new, at the pluginguru.com website, we have, if you go to the Unify page and then scroll down, all of these plugins have been unified, which means I've written to the companies, gotten permission to save their plugins presets in Unify format. And it says VST2 for most of these. I have to figure out how to make VST2s kind of die in. It's like a rare breed anymore. A lot of plugin companies can't even release VST2. It was more stable at the beginning of Unify, so we kind of targeted that. But now VST3 is taking off. A lot of such plugins don't come with VST2, only VST3. So we have to work on updating this content in the next coming year or so. But all of these libraries, including if you come down here to Sonic Charge, it's before, right here, Sonic Charge, Microtonic is available. So you just click this and you'd go to a Dropbox site where you can download the file. And with that, you can, let's see if we go back to hit C and I have this play. You can call up any of these patches, and there's 633 grooves. Right? And if I go Unify Layer, it will layer them all. So you can shape and play with as many microtonics at once as you want. There's 6 other grooves, 6 different microtonics playing at once, you know? So just to, it's very fun to have them. You can quickly go through the patches. Here, let's go back to just normal layer and back to play. Some are more straight ahead. But then you can open up Microtonic. You can modify the parameters, turn off the little arrow forward so it's just one measure. I wish I think there's a mute or a solo as well, but I just use the M to mute real quickly. You can modify the parameters by just clicking the eggs. You can modify these pretty easily to make your own. So it's really a really fun place to get creative new sounds from all these different grooves that are out there, right? So I love Microtonic. So I use that in the demo. Also, I used a groove right here. This is from just the open hi-hats. It's actually a ride cymbal and a hi-hat from the Recycle library, which is a library of drum grooves and stuff from Electron's Recycle, which is an FM synth. I really like this one hi-hat that had a little bit of panning information in it. There's strings and brass, which are from the, let's see if I go over here. Why are not you guys showing up if I like highlight you and say like this? These are strings and brass. Oh, let's see. A cycle's on. That's what's going on. Okay, so. Right? These are the string ensemble from the Symphony and Symphony Essentials. Let's go forward. And then I have some sweeps. There's a library I'm working on for next year of transitions and these kind of sounds like this that just... You need sounds like this like crazy. They're really useful. It sounds cool by itself, but you put this into the mix with everything else. You know, you need those transitions. So that's one of the libraries I'm working on for next year. So I can't tell you anything else about it right now, but it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah, so that's the demo. Any questions? If you learn the sound... Oh, the MIDI learned the sound morph. Yeah. Yes, they do have now inside of Logic, if you right click, is it control click? Yeah, you have to right click right there and you get finally a search. So you can say Unify to find the, we had this in Unify for a couple years now, or at least a year or so. Shane added so that when you double click, when you right click on any of these, we bring up a search window. So you can say Unify and there it is, or Microtonic. You can see all the other micro stuff in here that I have to play with. Yeah, so that's really cool. Any other questions? Will Unify 2 inside have a MIDI editor? To be determined. We don't know that yet. There's other stuff we're looking at. So right now, no. I'll give you one Christmas present. Well, no, I can't do it because I was going to let you see something for Unify 2, but I can't do it yet. So I love to, I'm not good with secrets. I'm terrible at secrets. I'm the worst person to own a company. I'll tell you that. Because I just want to share everything. I like to share what's going on, what I like to do, what's happening. It's, you know, and so have you heard or used Rando by Monkey C? I've seen it. I haven't used it. Don't spill the beans. I know, I'm not going to. But it's really exciting. There's some really exciting stuff coming. So, yeah, let's see. Keep RMX in groove mode, but assign it. Yes, Stylus RMX is still cool to this day. I don't know what the heck happened to Spectrasonics. I was really expecting to see something from them this year. Didn't. I hope we see something soon. They're always working on stuff. They have a big team. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be incredible. Have you tried the update to Blue Art? Yes, I just saw a notice actually from Grey Wolf. Have you seen the synth patches for Filterverse? Yes, I have. In fact, I'm working with Erez on that. So we're hoping to get that into a library for Unify for you guys to play with. Filterverse is an incredible... I shared that video last week in the live stream. If you haven't seen it, go to the Polyverse. Here, I'll find it for you. So, YouTube. It'll take a second because the web's running. Go Polyverse. On their website, unique presets that turn Filterverse. This video right here is really exciting. Erez is one of the guys that used to be in Infected Mushroom, a really cool. They kind of started the not acid trance, but they did like trance with creative mushrooms, right? He's now a big part of the Filterverse team. They've done all these plugins and stuff. Filterverse, I did some factory patches for it. It's really, really fun. And inside of Unify, because you can call up Filterverse and then run it as both, it gets MIDI just automatically. It's Psytrance. That's what it is. Psytrance is their genre that they were really big on. He's using Unify because when you call up Filter, I haven't done this myself. Let's see here. So if we go down here to booty call, yeah, that's good. So there's no sound here. Let's go back to Universe for 1 second. You have to set up some things, and I haven't studied exactly what he's doing, but by calling up Filterverse, it has, if you turn on oscillator, it's now playing it. And then if you were to run this into a second effect, and they have all these incredible effects that are like, let's see, maybe not the comb, but I'm not gonna. There's certain things you have to set up to get the right kind of effects. But you can play it as a synthesizer just by calling it a sine wave, right? So turn this on, maybe do. And then if you were to turn on some sort of a sequencer and then go over here and have this like change, you can make incredibly cool synthesizers using this as the engine for the synthesizer. So what that video was all about using, I mean, and listen to some of these sounds he came up with. I mean, you just have to look at the chain of what effects he's using. So that's Evil into Tempo Gong and Space. So a lot of stuff with Evil, I guess, is the place to go. Yeah, it's all Evil. Okay, let's try that. Let's say
you can add some reverb.
Let's call back. Oh wait, I gotta sign. That's what's going on. So if we say MIDI effect standard, he said MIDI monitor. So you just see the MIDI data, and then Filterverse. First thing is Evil. So let's go over here to Evil. And I'd probably have to have key track. See, I don't have it set up right, but you can set it up, and we're gonna get these patches. He's gonna send me the Unify patches so we can figure out how to get them to you. So that will be a whole live stream at some point when we get that all happening. But it's really, 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 really cool. Yeah, sorry, I can't show it. Unify do have the possibility to default. Oh, okay, that's a good question. That's a good suggestion. Put an ADSR on the cutoff. Right. I'm not going to try to set up in a live stream, but wider by Polyverse is a great tool. I use it. Right. Yes, it can widen this. Yeah, there's all sorts of really cool effects like that. I love the freebie from Wildverse. Wider is really cool. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this live stream. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover today. If you have any questions, pop them up in the stream. Oh, wait, I was going to talk about favorite plugins of 2024. I had a season notes, and let me just talk about them really quickly. I don't have links. I'm going to actually, I'm supposed to do a video this week to show these. Derailleur. I love this because it's a physical model. has such a really cool concept of the bars. This company actually made a number of different plugins. It was really hard to choose which of them I liked. Derailer. This is from Physical Audio. They also have Preparation, which is another really interesting for really cool really cool, unique stuff. There's places for cool sounds like that. The other one that's been really fun, Random from Beat Serving. Random Metal is their new plugin that they just brought out. This is a drum plugin. There's a new version. I need to download it. Okay, back. Close. But it has all of these really cool presets with all these different types of matter. Which do cool things with the... And then you have all these pads of them. So Random Metal is another one I really loved. Another one that's really cool that is, I believe, is Spectral Compressor. Let me see something. Let's go Recycle. Go BPM Drums. Call up Spectral Compressor. Robert Vanderhelm. I think this is free. This is insane. This is able to do the OTT, do some just crazy. You can get into all sorts of crazy. You can get really crazy what it's doing sonically, and I think this is free. This is new Spectral Compressor. Yeah, Robert Van. Here it is. I'll put the link into our chat. I covered this in a live stream earlier this year. And it's just one of those cool plugins that if you love to play with sonics and do stuff like that. Yeah, the randomize parameters. That's tricky because each plugin would have to have its own random generator built in. We could do random for the volumes and pans and sins, but that'd be kind of limited. Randomizing is something we we'll see. I don't know. There's all sorts of other stuff we're trying to get done for what we want to do. So we'll see what happens. But that's a good request. Random is always fun, but random is more something that you find inside of a plugin. We do have the random patch loader because that was a fun thing to add. Mario Nito has some really, really cool effects for those of you that love MIDI effects. Both Harmony Bloom. Let's see if we go back to Purity. Go back to a bowl, just one of the hits, normal hit. And you go over here to, I have over here. Oh, did it not remember all MIDI effects? Third party, here we go. Harmony Bloom. I wish I knew more how to use this plugin I didn't use it a lot. So, but you can get into just some crazy stuff, and this is random everywhere. I mean, crazy. Signs of Life has some really good videos on YouTube using Harmony Bloom if you want. He'll show you how to like start from scratch and just change the right number of parameters it gets. It just doing enough random tickling stuff without being out there. Unfortunately, this is one of those when you hit this, it's just it's not respecting. But this, and then the newest one he just brought out that is also equally great, and I'm really digging using it the little bit I have. I've been very busy, so I haven't used it a whole lot. But Harmony, this has the ability to, and then go over here to call up different presets. And it can do timing things like this where so really great affordable plugins for MIDI chord generation, stuff like that. Those came out really cool. Filterverse is of course really fun. You can put this on let's see, let's go to the BPM, like the drums. Let's call it something like, if we put Filterverse at the end, here's the presets. It's one I made. You can sort by authors. If you go over here, sort by author. There's all sorts of cool ways of adding cool textures. This is a lot like Infiltrator 2 in some ways, because you do have 4 or 3 different effects, and then whereas Infiltrator has more effects and it's got a grid, this is a little bit more direct, but it has, if we close the presets, you have these modulation sources which can just be doing all sorts of crazy things. Right? So you can just get into really cool vibey stuff. And there's tons of presets. And the filters are just incredible. So as you heard for the synthesizer stuff, it can do as well. Battalion is a favorite that came out this year. B-A-T. This is from Plugin Alliance. This is a really cool, it's kind of like a more complex with samples and so forth version of Microtonic. Let's see if we go over here. I made some patches for it. It's insane sound-wise. Very huge in your head. I mean, just the sound quality is really cool. It's got random variations. You can set the variation up to change parameters. I did that in some of my patches with a good effect. I didn't set it up. Okay. But you can change certain parameters. Let's see what else we got here. Had a lot of fun with that one. I thought that was really cool, worth a mention. That's on the Plugin Alliance. You can get it probably on one of their discounts really easily. This year I had a chance to work on some really cool synthesizers. One of them was the Korg's version of the ARP 2600. Another one that came out that's really fun is Korg's Multi-Poly. This is like the closest to a living analog machine in software I have come across. It's just, it has a life of its own, personality-wise, in what you hear from it. It can sound like so many different things. If you go to the authors, there's Peter Schwartz, who released a really cool library for the 2600 on our website. So the Art Z2600, those are his patches. Let's see if we just say, let's just get to the 2600 factory patches so we don't have too many things like cooking up in the face. 2600. Huh, I don't have all the patches showing. 2600 effects. Huh. I have some patches in here somewhere, but they're not showing up. But anyway, it was really cool vibe, great synthesizer. And last but not least, the other plugin that I thought that was really well done that came out this year. Let's call up Titan 303 for a cool groove. That should work for this. Let's go BPM drums. We'll see if this works. It's from Rhythmatic Synesthesia. So this is a really cool multi-effect. It gets incredibly deep. It's basically started with the effects inside of his Plasmonic plugin, and then he has taken those and expanded them. And I was part of the beta team and would give suggestions like, you've got to have a MIDI button right here so we can like transpose. Now we can. I wasn't the only one asking for this, so it's not because of me. But there's so many other presets. Let's get rid of the bass. Just on drums. Doing really cool stuff. It's one of these plugins that you learn about, and 2 years from now, you will still be learning things about it. It's very, very deep. But Brian does not tackle anything with just, you know, a half approach. You open with the plus. When you open the plus and instrument layer, you need to make let's see, you're trying to save a layer preset. Yeah, read the owner's manual. If you go over here to the question mark, Unify manual, and then type in layer preset. Right here, Danielle, you'll find also information on Yes, to show you real quickly what we're talking about, she's asking about, I think, it's tricky to understand Daniela sometimes because she's using a translator to translate from German to English everything that's typed. So if you want to save anything here as a layer preset, you go here and you go save as a layer preset and say new folder and say Evelyn soundtrack work. And let's say my boomy bass. Boom. I've saved that one layer as a layer preset. So whatever is here, the insert effects and stuff, if I go init, I go here and I go replace from layer presets, I now have the Oblivion soundtrack work and my boomy bass. There it is. So anything that's inside of Cloud City, if you called up something, maybe I want fundamental. So I would turn off solo because it will save that if you save that and go save as a layer preset, save into the folder you want, my Oblivion, and call it fundamental, save. Now when I go init, I can either use right here to replace the layer preset. If I want to add a new layer and I want it to be one of those presets, you click layer, and instead of empty layer, you just go down here to Oblivion soundtrack work, and let's say fundamental, and now I have both. That's how you do it. It's how layer presets work. It's very easy. It's very, very easy. You just, whatever layer you have selected that you click the little bullet right here, that's where you're going to save. I want this layer to be saved as a recallable preset. So for those of you that are working, you have favorite serum patches. Go over here, right click, say serum. Find a favorite patch that you use from whatever libraries you have. Here's like some of the Somatics libraries. I want that saved into my Oblivion soundtrack work. So I go over here, I go save layer preset, because I'm going to call this up. This is, go to that folder, open it up, and then give it a name, because I didn't name it. Bass for the Love theme. Right? And now, there's my bass for my love theme. And next week when I come back and I'm trying to work and start from scratch, all I have to do is init, click the little layer here to replace this first layer, because there's one layer always inside of Unify. You can't make it empty. And here's your layer presets, Oblivion Sound Lab, bass for the love theme, boom. Okay, is that clear? And so you can build up your favorite patches so that when you're working, or else, like, it's really smart if you're working on a soundtrack or on an album to give yourself a set core of sounds that you work with. So make yourself save this as a layer preset for a certain bass sound that you like that you're going to use in other songs. That way you don't have to search everywhere for it. You can always call it up, because you'd go to your Oblivion Sound Lab, soundtrack work and bass for your love theme, whatever it is. There it is, right? All right. And how to build this folders, that's important. Yeah. Well, inside of Unify, if you go reveal in the Finder, if you go up to Unify's layer and you go to presets, you'll see layer presets and instrument layers. And that's where the presets are saved that are created this way. So my Oblivion soundtrack work, here are the presets. They are XML files at this point because they're not a Unify patch. They have all the information inside of them. Looks like that. For the preset, the plugin, all the details. It's wonderful how Shane set it all up so that it works. So, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us. I hope this was helpful. We're almost to the end of the year. Next week, I'm going to detail all the libraries released in 2024. It was a great year. The year will be over. This should be the end of the year live stream. I should have done it today. Too late. We'll do a year in review after the year is over. The sale will still be going on next week. So There we are. Marcel's doing the shout outs. He's been here before. Happy New Year. Shout out from out from Eagle, Idaho. Great. Good to see you all. Another great session. Really appreciate invite. Great. Thank you, Edu. My pleasure. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to share information, help you all get the most out of Unify. If it's 900 layers like Daniela or whatever it is, we're here to help. So thank you. Look at that. Florida, Colorado, Germany, Norway, Netherlands. Good to see you all. I love that we're all together. I appreciate you all. Don't forget there's a Celta website, 45% off most libraries. The December babies are under the freebies and special deals. I'll show you one more time and then we'll go. Right here, current deals and free stuff is for the birthday babies. And Purity was born in December, so it's a birthday baby. It's $20 off its library. Then Mega Magic, I mean, you know, these guys are at 50% off, so they're really great savings. And again, Mega Magic Keys Trio is really cool. This is the Mega Magic Cello, Viola, and Violin all together. I'm going to go get some hot tea for my voice. It's about to go away. Cheers. Oh, good. Have fun, Daniela. All right. Have a wonderful New Year's celebration wherever you are. I appreciate you all, and we'll see you next year. My gosh, it'll be 2025 next time we get together. So, and Taylor, appreciate you. Thank you. And we'll see you.